segundo round, perdão. Olha só, agora a trocação. Trabalhou gelado.
Around this time, just about 1 month before UFC 200, undefeated Aljamain, who was ranked 4th bantamweight, fought against Bryan Caraway.
I go toe-to-toe with that guy next, or maybe Bryan Caraway would stop hiding under Miesha Tate's tit and come fight me.
Ouch. Unfortunately, Aljo underestimated his opponent with less significant strikes and takedowns, losing by split decision, leaving him with a record of 12-1. Calvin fought against Kenny Foster at the CES MMA promotion. Yes, around this time he was kind of a nobody by comparison. He won by split decision, although no legal or actual raw footage in general is found online, so we can just take the judge's word for it. Having a promising career at this time, he joined the UFC just 1 year after this fight. Ravik was actually inactive in 2016, so there was no fight he did during that year. But we can look at his 2015 fight where he KO'd Martin Vettori in the first 20 seconds of the fight. Watch out for this kickboxing challenger in the future. And even more crazy is that the KO was from a left hook. Reminds me of another light heavyweight fighter. During this time, Yeri fought against Kazuyuki Fujita in the Rizin Fighting Championship. He won by round 1 knockout by punches.
와, 直接KO 了。
This was actually his first win, beginning his 13-fight win streak, only for that to be broken by Alex Pereira. Only shows how high level that fight was between those two and how crazy those calf kicks from Alex really was. Aman was a fresh professional fighter at the time, only having 1 win and 1 loss in his record. But don't let this mediocre fight record deceive you from this fight. This fight was in 2016 against Ali Khaibullayev. Although it was the domestic MMA scene, Aman is actually known in the UFC still for crazy power from the ground. Long ago, when Oliveira wasn't a Super Saiyan and fought in the featherweight division, he fought against Anthony Pettis. Anthony was up in the scorecards, and just in the 3rd round, in the final 2 minutes, he submitted Charles with a guillotine choke. Sad to see Oliveira get submitted, but this was 2016 Anthony Pettis though. This is a weird, unplanned segue, but we have Max Holloway versus Anthony Pettis during this time as well. For the featherweight interim champion bout, Max Holloway wins and finishes Pettis in the 3rd round in the final moments as well. We're to think Max Holloway is technically a veteran in the sport, but we always feel like Max is always teasing a future title reign, despite him being in the game for over 1/3 of the UFC's history. Justin Gaethje was the lightweight champion of WSOF and defended it against Brian Foster. All was going kinda well, but only for 1 minute, until Justin Gaethje got the perfect leg kick TKO that stopped the fight immediately. I feel bad for Brian because he was really in agony and had to be carried out of the venue. Just shows how good Justin Gaethje is and how long he's been good for. He doesn't need to be this good in 2024, 6 years later, but here we are. Definitely BMF material. Yan was in the domestic scene as well and got a win against Lim So-hee, giving her a record of 9-1. It was a clean standing TKO where she came in with a sidekick and connected with a hook straight after. And that's when the opponent had enough.
하지만 옌시아오는의 기세가 엄청납니다. 네, 걸렸습니다.
안면에 들어갔는데요.
During this time, Zhang Weili was also in the domestic scene, but she had her own kick to prove with this finish against Lilia Kazak.
确实削弱了很多。对，其实看过很多女子比赛的。高边腿，高边上头。
After this fight, she moved up to 6 wins and 1 loss. This was long before Jamahal Hill entered the scene for anything. He started his professional debut in late 2017, so there is basically nothing before that. But in terms of everything I can gather online on Jamahal Hill in 2016 was that he created his current Twitter account around that time and also 1 amateur bonus fight. I'm unsure if it's his only amateur fight, but this was all that was listed. He defeated Dillian Ankney, who was a 5-0 fighter apparently, with punches in round 2. During 2016, Pereira was pursuing MMA as well as continuing his legendary kickboxing career. In terms of his MMA fight in mid-2016, he fought against Marcus and won by knockout.
Agora vai, outra vez o cruzado. Outra vez o cruzado, ó, perna esquerda. Vai na combinação, outra vez. Agora acabou. Terminou. Fim de papo.
I'm not sure what's scarier, that iconic rear hook lead uppercut to knee combo or his mustache. Regardless, it needs to make a comeback sometime in his UFC career. And in terms of what happened in 2016 for his kickboxing career, I think we all know what happened. Debatable result, but a win in the textbooks for Pereira regardless. Seeing Alex Pereira's whole Wikipedia really just shows how active this man was his whole life.